Have you figured this out yet? Like that life on this plane, it's like not made to work. Like there's not going to be any utopia on this plane, like ever. It can't. There's so many different levels of consciousness that exist in this plane. How can anybody understand each other? It's not only they don't understand each other, they misinterpret each other all the time. This is how wars get started. And to make it more funny in a cosmic way is that sometimes, can I say many times? I don't know. Both sides are saying the same thing, but they're not. The other side doesn't understand it. The other side already has in their mind. This happens in relationships. You don't have to talk about countries, just relationships, intimate romantic relationships. Yeah, good luck. Unless you get a good one. Go watch The Notebook. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a definite. They were matching. Both sides could be saying the same thing, but they don't. They either don't want to acknowledge it. Why? Because it's like their mind wants to fight with the other one. They already have them pegged as somebody that's like they don't like, or a country that can't be trusted. So even though they're saying the same thing, their mind's going to hear it in a way that makes it seem like they're saying the opposite. This is the delusion of mind. It does that. It's amazing how it does that. So what's the point? Why then? Why is this life not really made to work? It's not a negative thing. It just is what it is. I mean, just turn the news on. I mean, like, it's not made to work. It's cool. Like, we're not here so long. It's not a big deal. And we're not these bodies. Like, it's not such a big deal. Although it can appear to be a big deal, and that's also cool. That's also like when it feels like a big deal, let it be a big deal. And then something will shift, and you're like, oh yeah, really, it's not that big a deal. We have to cooperate with duality. That's why I'm not a proponent of this whole non-dual Nazi type way of thinking. Because everything's a thought, is thought. There's one person that no matter what you ask, whoa, see that? I caught it. I caught my camera was falling. I don't know. I don't want to start over, because we do things here off the fly. There's a non-dual who says, no matter which you ask them, they'll just be like, well, that's a thought. What about suffering? It's thought. Spiritual bypassing? Thought. Death? It's thought. No matter what you say, they're just going to tell you it's a thought. You know what's going to happen, though? Life's going to hit them hard with something at some point, and then they're going to eat those words, because they're not going to experience that as just a thought. It's easy to say things. It's easy. It's another thing to be one with your words and to have the experience to back what you're saying. Somebody that understands this 3D virtual reality suit that we're wearing, they don't just repeat spiritual cliches all the time. It's a thought, nothing's real. Like, they don't do that because it's just nonsense, that's all. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. So, let me look. I made some notes. Yeah, your way's wrong, my way's right. This is total ego busting. This creates humility. I think I was asking the question before, why would we live on a plane where, like, it's not made to work? What's the point of it? The point of it's training. This is ultimate training to crush ego. This life on this level will crush ego if you cooperate with it, or you'll just become super bitter and hateful. This will give humility. When you have humility, automatically you start getting downloads in deeper levels of self-realization. They just come because humility creates space. You're not holding on to concepts and ideas about like what somebody's doing and saying. Like looking to criticize. He's stupid. What's wrong with Trump? What's wrong with it? Like, you understand, like, wait a minute, who's running the show? Oh yeah, the Supreme. And so then when things trigger you, you use it as an opportunity to do introspection. So, whoa, I'm getting triggered. What's going on here? I'm holding on to a strong concept about something, and others aren't cooperating with it. Okay, now the ego wants to, like, hurt them into cooperating with it. Or let's go to war, we'll make them cooperate. There's a way to, there's no true, I mean, you can sign all the peace treaties all day long, it's a piece of paper. People don't, or you can tell your wife or a husband, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to, like, I shouldn't have done that again. I mean, again. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm sorry. You don't have the power to not do it again. And you don't have the power, a country, a president doesn't have the power to fulfill the obligation of signing a peace treaty. And we don't have the power to do it. Instinct, ego is going to take over, and we're going to lose it in the moment. So, how do you form some kind of communion with your partner or country to country? Consciousness has to shift. Consciousness knows how to do this. You could be at total opposing sides with one another. If both sides are open and humble and willing to see, willing to be shown this thing, willing, because when you're open and you have humility, God can work. The unfathomable can work through and give a solution to something that just seems totally impossible to have a solution for. And then we call that a miracle. Yeah, at this time and age, it's a miracle. Miracle means, like, it's not being done too much. That's what can happen. Something shifts. The mind can't figure it out. The mind says, no, we got to, like, make it happen. Like, this is how it works. This is how the mind works. But so practice this in your own relationships, especially with your significant other. Like, there's certain things you're going to quarrel about that there's not going to be a solution. Both people are so fixated in their positions, diametric opposite positions, that how are they going to talk? It looks impossible. Yeah, good. Use that as an opportunity. Of course, both people have to be open. It can't just be one person that's open. Those relationships, I don't know, like, I couldn't be in them, you know. But I mean, whatever's karma and destiny, like, we can't mess with that sometimes. But I'm just saying. When it comes to knowledge, though, this is, and you can get this, you can hear this and see this just on YouTube and stuff, like, people going back and forth and arguing about stuff. Like, it really helps when the time's right to realize that actually knowledge, this is just another concept. It's not the true self or spirit has knowledge. Knowledge is a software program. In deep sleep, do you have knowledge? You know, like, there's no knowledge, there's no nothing. This is God. This is the formless. There's no knowledge. What do you mean, knowledge? Knowledge is part of the play. It's part of the game. So to recognize that also, if you're getting into some kind of heated debate or your concepts are being challenged, just remember, like, wait a minute, like, what are we saying? Am I going to be talking about this in deep sleep? Am I going to be talking about this when I leave the body? Like, does it really matter? Like, this is part of the game. This is part of the software that makes this game and this play interesting, is the faculty of knowledge. I have knowledge. I need to give this knowledge to you so then you can understand it. And why don't you understand it? Been my student for 5 years and you're still stupid. Like, what's wrong with you? All these things. When we realize, like, that we're playing our role, we're playing the play, We're playing as the one imparting knowledge, or we're playing as the one receiving knowledge. What difference does it make? Still, it's just part of the play. God's running all this. He's playing as the student and as the teacher, and then maybe he'll switch roles, and right? God and drag. Did you see my other video? Some people are like, you got to give Ram Dass credit. I'm like, I did, but look, man, like there's a bunch of people that have said that. It's not just him. We don't know who the first person was that said it. I said it too. I said it before I knew he said it. Maybe I said it first. Who cares? I remember there was a lawsuit. Somebody in Europe wrote a book, and then somebody in America also wrote a book near the same time, and was trying to get it published near the same time. And then they like found out. They're like, you stole my idea. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You stole my idea. Sometimes the universal mind, the two or more people can tap into it at the same time. How do we know? That happened too with Marianne Williamson and Nelson Mandela. Like, who said it first? They're higher level, like they don't care. It's like what matters is what they're pointing to, you know. But the quote was, it's not that one is scared that they're inadequate. That's not the real fear. The real fear is that they're more powerful beyond measure. That's the real fear. And they both kind of said it at a similar time. And so then you have each one's disciples like arguing with the others about who said it. All this silly stuff we do, these stupid little spiritual quibbles. Like, man, who cares? That's what I'm saying. All right, I'll see you soon.